we go. We are live and ready to go. How's everybody doing tonight? We got the prime time matchup. Shinigami versus Cloud9. Two very high-powered offenses ready to put on a show, hopefully. Unfortunately, we already have my co-caster. We have Silver Joker.
What is up, everybody?
So I can't really drag anybody else in the booth at this time. Just trying to keep the stream as appropriate as possible, just because it's going up on the website. So let's see here. So let's talk about this lineup on Shinigami's side. I don't know if you have any of their stats pulled up.
We have MVP with 170 completions. He's ranked first there. Passing yards, he's just behind Shaq, 3,124.
Yep.
Same with the passing TDs, 44 passing TDs.
Yep.
And I think the only reason we're not really seeing Jipper up there is because Jipper didn't play in the first couple of games.
Yeah, Jipper wasn't playing in the first. I mean, but Jipper, at the same time, we already know. You know what I mean? Like, Jipper has won multiple draft tournaments. Like, we know he's established quarterback. MVP, this is his first quote-unquote, season, I guess you want to say. I know he was in the RSL and he was doing his thing in the RSL for a long time. But he's coming into the GFA Season 3 or Season 2 looking very smooth with everything he's doing out there right now. I am curious to see who gets his ball first, because this first drive is going to mean so much.
Yeah, if K9 win that toss, I would actually, because of how good your defense has been playing, I would kick off first if I got the ball, if I was K9.
Yeah, there's some teams who like to there are some teams who like to get the ball first to really make an impact. So here we go. We're on our way. Lizard catches the ball. Just taking it up. Brings it to the 35-yard line. That's a great start on a kick return for K9.
Yeah, that's pretty standard for most kick returns at this stage of the game. We used to see a lot more going to about the 45 earlier in earlier versions, but now we're seeing starting at 30s. The first pass to Vanilla on the comeback.
That's a perfect way to start the game. Just get the blood flowing. A nice casual 15-yard comeback. Caught by Vanilla, they get the first down and they just keep it pushing.
And the first matchup between Duke and Mai today.
That high point out route, his man or no man. It's gonna come down to the simple stuff.
Taking a run. And the running game for K9, I think, is a little bit underrated right now. When we usually hear of K9, we usually think, oh, the Jipper-Duke connection, but Jipper, when he gets enough time to step up to that line and decide to take a run, we see that those runs go down the field for 20 yards at a minimum.
Jipper is very slippery in the pocket, and when he gets going, he's a hard man to hit.
Oh, and Vanilla!
Great moves.
Making some...
Great moves.
He just destroyed ankles.
Great moves by Vanilla. Little quick, quick comeback, in, out, light on his feet, touchdown. And just like that, K9 goes up by 7 points. I will adjust that score in 1 second, ladies and gentlemen.
That one only being brought back to the 32. So now Shinigami is going to get their first possession of the game. So yeah, Mai and Duke, that is going to be the matchup for today. rolling out to his left, throwing a quick comeback, and getting the first down.
They're starting it up just like K9 did. A comeback, get these offenses cruising. You know, nothing too crazy. You don't want to overextend. You know, you make it nice and quick.
MVP having to drop back pretty far. Doesn't really see anybody open. There's nothing there. He's going to go center.
And Jipper.
Jipper.
You always got to be aware of that lurking safety. And that's what I was saying. Look where they turned this ball over. Right at the 50-yard line. Jipper starting this up with a nice weak side run. 3 yards is good on first down. 3 yards on a run is like ideal.
Jipper being contained. And he's going to get sacked by Vortex.
That is
loss
huge.
Of 15.
Vortex getting a sack on his old quarterback from when Wizard was a thing back in the day.
Down the field, and Doot gets the spot.
So they're attacking Mai right now. Doot's got 2 on him. He's got 2 passes, and one was what, you know, everybody wanted to see, the 50. And Regis coming up with an 8-yard sack on Jipper.
Jipper dropping back, rolling out to his left, throwing the comeback to Vanilla. Vanilla has a little bit of room. Oh, no!
And he made a... So you get the diving corner on the sideline. You never want to see that. And then he's able to make that guy miss, cut up the field, make another guy miss, and Vanilla's already got 2 touchdowns on his hands, and it's by yakking it up.
And I don't know who the sucker guy is. I don't know. He didn't change his name before the game, so I'm not able to
believe that is Pokey. I believe that is Pokey. Yes.
Yeah, that was a huge... I think that was a huge, like, it was a huge mistake on the dive, whoever was covering him. But Pokey, not cutting him off, he just kind of backed up with him without sprinting and just allowed Vanilla to go through that gap.
Yeah.
Like,
so
there was no blocker on him.
And that's the thing. It's like you want to be aggressive when you're getting the tackle. But if you're too aggressive and you overextend, with the way the slides work, they can make you miss in a heartbeat.
And good pass out to Pokey. Pokey getting the first down.
Yeah, it's a good 13 yards. They need, like, Shinigami needs right here on this drive to, like, just get these passes out as fast as possible and just try to take as good as yards as you possibly are giving. Don't do anything crazy because this needs to be a scoring drive with them down by 2 possessions already.
Yeah. If you're MVP, you don't want the plays to last too long because K9 defense doesn't really break down too often.
And
like that.
Cam able to get in front of Pokey and snag that interception, and now they give K9 an opportunity to go up by 3 possessions in this game early.
Yeah, I think what Cam did there is he knew that they were gonna do the comeback. He had MVP had a man open in the middle that he could have thrown that in route to, but I think he was kind of staring down that left side looking for the comeback.
Yeah, he's showing where he wants to throw, and with these guys on K9, you do not want to do that. And
that is Doot mean getting one over Mai. That was a perfect pass.
Really good pass by Jipper on the post route. Doot able to take advantage, and Jipper able to put it right on the money for his receiver. When you're throwing a Doot mean, he has such a high radius of like his catching area, and it sometimes doesn't even matter where you put the ball for him because he will make a play on it no matter what. And just like that, they're going to go up by 21 points. And Shinigami missed the kick on the kick return. This is not looking good.
You have to vocalize on who is getting the ball. because I've seen this happen quite a few times where two people try to go for the ball and they end up blocking each other. And making a good spin move.
That was a very slick spin move. He split in between two defenders and cut up the field. That was amazing.
MVP running up for 6 yards. Shinigami are really in a deep hole right now,
They are.
You can still come back from this.
There's a lot of
It is
time.
only first quarter.
Yeah, there's a lot of time. And
And
little
a
league
moon
route.
ball.
Oh
no, Regis. I don't think Regis had to dive for that.
It was definitely a diving catch, but that's the difference between a lineman and a wide receiver. You know, a receiver knows how to angle their dives perfectly to catch that, and Regis just whiffed it really bad, and Chicken Fat almost got an interception because of it. So 4th and 4. This is a huge for Shinigami.
Oh, and open over the middle. Yes, Sean.
So I actually missed exactly what happened. I don't know what happened with K9's defense, but they left him perfectly wide open in the middle of the field. Gets him the first down. An MVP weak side run for 3 yards. And that's what you need. They need to be able to, you know, take what's given.
Rolling out to the right. Might look for my here. I would throw it away.
Yeah,
throw it
you're
away.
25 yards back. This is a good throwaway. It's going to get, like I was saying in the, you know, pregame show, it's going to get scary in this pocket because of how good each team lines up on these line.
Yeah, unless you're able to step forward after dropping that far back, you should just keep throwing them away like that.
Yeah.
Like you can't test that K9 coverage unless you're on that 4th down.
MVP is getting aware that he is needing to throw these balls away, but 4th and 7, this is a huge
play. He sends out the leak and goes to the comeback, finds him, getting 10 yards.
Now, Sheen, whatever, he is a really good player. This guy is slept on very, very much. But
Chicken gonna push him back 12 more yards.
There's that man, Chicken. That's like Jipper's right-hand guy, man. Those two, when they're on a team together, they do really big things.
Oh, and going to that corner, he has him! And Mai gonna
gets,
come down with the touchdown over Dootmean.
Mai gets behind Dootmean, and, you know, with these players, you don't want these guys to get behind you because it could be a big play, and now that they're putting points on the board, this is big. This is big.
So now Shinigami have to find a way to stop K9. I don't think they've stopped him yet. Jipper trying to get all the way out to the left side.
Any kick return that's at least above the 30 is a win in my book. So him getting it to the 31, even though it was kind of a long play, that's a win.
And they're pushing him back. He's going to have to throw this one away.
That's a good throw away by Jipper. I mean, you don't want to take a sack, especially on first down. So we'll see what we got dialed in next drive.
If Shinigami are able to get either a sack or force a 4th down, I think they're not able to stop Cam. As I was trying to say, that if they can get a couple more sacks or force a 4th down, momentum will shift for them. Because you could already see it starting to shift with how they're playing their coverage.
Jipper's going to take that and get 9 yards. 9 yards, putting you at 2nd and like 1. You have so many options here. You could run, get the first. You could even take a shot deep. There's a lot of options because you're playing with short field.
He goes with a fake roll, but Regis with a really good dive to stop him from getting that first down.
Yeah, that was a great sack by Regis. He basically put a spike trap down on the sideline just to stop Jipper from getting that first down. And now 3rd and 2. Let's see what they got.
Gonna go to the comeback to Vanilla.
So we need to see this Shinigami line put pressure on Jipper here. They got to get these downs faster.
Throw over the center. Dupe mean again over my.
This post route, even with MVP playing back there, Jipper still tested him on that throw. It's very surprising. I'm surprised that just happened, and Duke was able to big body that and get that touchdown.
Yeah, so there was talk about my before the game, like during the season, where is his talent real or is it just hyped up? I mean, he's made one play on Dupe Mean so far, but Dupe Mean has really controlled the game over my.
Yeah, and like honestly, it's still early in this game, but with 2 touchdown passes on deep routes like that, that could hurt a player's mental. So let's see if Mike can overcome and like start putting a stop on this this offense. So a nice 3rd and 1, MVP faking the run. Throws right to Regis and just over Regis's head, making it 4th and 1 for the K9's defense. Let's see what they could dial in, or if MVP takes this and keeps this drive alive.
I think MVP needed to wait like just a second more. My with a great catch.
Great catch. Great trust in his receiver to make a play on that ball and still get that 1st down.
Four-man coverage. They're doubling my. And he's going to throw this away. Pretty smart there to throw that one away. But if they're dropping back into the 4-man coverage quite a lot,
yeah,
maybe a delayed run where Jipper is dropping back, and then you send your line forward to get the front blocks. And deep pass
and
to my over Vanilla.
My on a post route, we are seeing a lot of post routes from these wide receivers, and Mai was able to get behind Bond, which is very rare, and coming up with a huge gain.
MVP gonna take the run, getting that first.
See, MVP is really shifty on his feet, and I feel like if they weren't so behind, we would have seen this more, but because they're behind, they have to pass the ball. Unfortunate 3-yard loss by a screen pass.
MVP. Oh, he misses my. I don't think my
went to
thought
go.
It was gonna go to that far outside.
He went to catch the ball and still be able to make a move, and Jipper was right there to get that interception, putting him at 1st down just behind the 10-yard line, and he takes 3 yards with a rush.
I think what my played for is Jipper. He knows Jipper is right there, so he plays in front of him so he can't get the dive in front. But because he doesn't dive, he doesn't get the catch.
Exactly.
He stepped forward.
He tried to attack the ball where he was still going to be able to make a play, and it just so happens that he missed the ball right at that same time. And now K9 is fighting the clock to see if they could put points up on this board before half.
Shinigami need to force a turnover here.
Smart throw away by Jipper. He called Bond a fake comeback, and the guy was holding S, and they recognized that, just threw the ball away to get to the next play.
Even if it's not going to be a pick, oh, he got body blocked by Chicken. He couldn't dive forward for that first.
All right, this is
so it is a 4th and 1.
First 4th down, I think that K9 had to deal with this game. So let's see what they could do. Fake 4-man by Shin. comeback on the
into that
weak
comeback.
side. And making 2 people miss already. Great blocks by Cam. He's taking up the sideline for 25 yards.
And they call a timeout right after that play. So 13 seconds left to try to get into the end zone again.
So K9 is right where they want to be. They are within 50 range. They have a play to take a shot deep. And
Vanilla reaches that one.
Getting over Duke Mean. Bond over Duke Mean. It looked like Duke was
so-
playing coverage on him for a second. But great catch and throw. And now they're going for 2.
And they get it.
So they fake the fade route into a short route. And Bond's able to catch that and go up by... let's see here. Now they have 36 points.
Yeah, Jipper threw that one right as the coverage was breaking down for Shinigami.
Yeah.
Because Mai was covering Duke Mean really well, but he lets him go because the other, I think it was it Pokey or Sean that was underneath, and they didn't allow they didn't switch properly.
So
and it was on the same thing with the other receiver. Because Sean was there, they didn't switch over.
Yeah, they didn't switch, and Jipper put it right in between both of the corners as like the wide receiver started cutting in. They had no chance on it. So right now we got 30 seconds to talk about like some of the stats going into this next half. We got Jipper 13 for 15 for 318 yards, and he has 2 interceptions. He is looking lights out right now.
2 of his receivers are already over 100 yards.
Yeah.
The only one he hasn't really thrown too much is Cam. Yeah. And I think that was a 13-yard comeback play.
And for sacks, they have Chicken with 1. But on the other side of the ball, we got Shin. They have 4 sacks. So they are getting into this pocket. And they are causing some disruption. But they have to work on getting into the end zone and not turning this ball over on these interceptions, because K9 is making them pay on all these turnovers. So let's see what they have in store for us this next half.
Yeah, what I'm seeing is they're putting pressure on Jipper, but they're not putting pressure on him when they need to. Like on the 3rd downs and 4th downs, they are only rushing 3. So it's not forcing Jipper to drop back, so he's able to stay in the pocket.
Yeah.
And find the open man, usually for the comeback.
And now see, I think Silver, I think what it is that they have a lot of respect for the K9's receivers, because in one-on-one coverage, it could be a mismatch. You want to have a moment where you could double team these receivers, but it's looking like they might really need to bring the pressure, because the line's just not getting it done when it needs to be, you know?
Yeah.
So Chicken with another sack added to the stat line, putting them in the 2nd and 28.
And MVP forced all the way back, and Chicken Fat with a good bat down.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting real scary right now in this pocket for MVP. That's 2 plays back to back where he was pushed back for very, very many yards.
2v2 situation, and Vanilla's gonna come up with the interception.
That's just not what you want. That's not what you want on your first drive into this new half, putting it up in a blob. And they're gonna make them pay for that. They're gonna make them pay, you know. Jipper started off with a little run. It's not ideal, only 1 yard, but with the way that the offense has been cooking, and Duke burnt them on the fake comeback, Jipper lead it, but a good body block by Mai. If he did not get that body block, it was looking for a huge gain by K9.
Yeah, but you can't allow Duke to be over the top when Jipper's able to step up like that.
No. That's the one, like, player that you never want, like, behind you, because he could body block and he could catch at the same time. He's just a double threat.
And a good pass to Vanilla. Vanilla making some moves. Can he get past any more? No, but that is still a gain for 28.
Vanilla is looking very, very clean this game. He's making a lot of people miss. His slides are on spot.
To the leak play.
And Chicken Fat with the diving catch. Unbelievable. 43 yards and puts K9 at the 2-yard line.
Jipper's most likely going to run this one. Jadarius does a good job to cover that gap.
That's huge for Jadarius. Nice little spin into the diving tackle. Fake roll.
Jipper.
And MVP getting the stop at the 1-yard line, putting them at 3rd and 1. Could this be a good goal line stand? They really need this bad. And Lizard unable to get the push on Jadarius to move up and let Jipper dive right in behind him. 4th and 1.
Quick pass out to Duke Mean, and that is an easy touchdown catch.
Little quick drag out to Duke Mean up high. Made it for only his guy. And they're going for the 2-point conversion. They're looking to put the dagger in. And Mai's able to get to the spot and stop that 2-point conversion, going up 42-7 with, I mean, a decent amount of time left in this game. The only problem is that K9's defense has been looking too good. Too good.
I don't know. It just seems really difficult for MVP to get enough time for the plays to develop, because the plays that he's calling, they develop more down the field and then they end up having to come back. That one was a good comeback call, but it's like you see the play calling with the receivers being down the field, but he's about like 30 yards back already.
Yeah.
And there's no options for him to go to.
So here's, and Jipper again with another diving interception on this middle comeback. They didn't even see him there, and he's able to snipe another one of these.
It's like Jipper is invisible. MVP just does not see Jipper there.
Jipper plays the safety. Oh.
And he throws a pick right back, though.
All right. So Jipper plays the safety, like, very, very well. Like, he kind of, like, lurks the quarterback, but at the same time, he still sees, like, every little thing that's going on within the middle of the field. And he's able to attack the ball, like, very precise every single time the ball is thrown. And unfortunately, K9 threw the pick right back. So let's see what Shinigami could do. This needs to be a scoring drive.
Good pass. Can Mai get that upfield block? Oh, but Jipper able to get the tackle from behind.
I mean, 14-yard gain is like win. That's a win right now. We have to make that a win. Any positive yard gain for Shinigami right now is big.
And now K9 is showing 4-man pressure. Sean able to toe drag that one in, but it doesn't really go for a lot. It took a lot of time off the clock because of how long that play lasted. If there's a 4-man rush, those players should be open.
And Pokey didn't get the first down, which puts them at 3rd and 1. I don't know if he was trying to make a guy miss, but you really want these plays being first down plays at all time.
MVP definitely missed an opportunity there, but he does get Pokey.
Pokey with a nice little, like...
That ended up being a good play, but Lizard and Jipper were both lined up, like, towards the center and right side. That was a free gap on the left.
Yeah, so...
For the run.
They're playing it where they want to make MVP, like, make a play inside the pocket. They're playing really good contain.
MVP with some good moves to get that first down.
So let's see. This is huge. This is huge for Shinigami being in this red zone. They need to make it work.
Can Pokey get there? Oh, Vanilla with the maximum range on that dive to stop the scoring opportunity.
So 2nd and goal, 5 seconds left in the third. They want to make this a score before this quarter ends.
I was terrified there. I thought Chicken Fat had the pick.
My heart just dropped. My heart literally just dropped because the way that it looked, it really did look like Chicken Fat got that pick, and that is a crazy play.
Oh, and Pokey able to grab that one.
They are getting overzealous right now on this side of the ball. That was 2 plays that almost were picks. They need to okay.
And a good sandwich play.
Okay.
To Sean.
It's a great play. I am curious on what they come out. They're coming out in a field goal, down by this much. Okay.
Well, I mean, you're down by just touchdowns. Like they did get K9 did get a 2-point conversion earlier, but they also missed one. So all you need right now is the extra point.
Yeah, I just because you're down by this much, right? It's the 4th quarter now. You need like any point that you could get. So if you're able to dial in something on these 2-point conversions and get those extra points, I mean, you could be back in this game faster than you know it. But here we go, K9 with the ball. Jipper rolling to his left. Nice little in route to Doopmean for 8 yards. And we have to see a defensive stop from Shinigami if they want a chance to stay in this game.
Good sack there from Darius. He's able to contain him in, but we need to see a 4-man. Like, I know the receiving core for K9 is strong, but you have to trust your coverage and put pressure on Jipper. And getting the pick!
So, my getting a pick over Doopmean right there puts them in a great spot to score quick. As long as they just do not turn over this ball, we're looking good. And a nice 13-yard gain.
You got to play hurry up here. You got to pick your plays and get it down the field quickly.
Yep. 1, 2, 3 offense. You need to dial in.
Oh, he threw a little bit too early.
They're testing Duke. Mai just got one on him. They're like, hey, listen.
He saw Mai slightly behind him.
Yeah.
Doopmean still had that slide. Good job to get away from that pressure, and he throws it out to Sean. Sean getting 12 yards.
That was a good comeback to the sideline from the running back. Gets the separation. He's able to throw him, get the first down, and keep this drive pushing. So another screen pass to Pokey. Is
that not IG?
So
behind the line.
So I don't know. I don't know if it's like how long the play goes on for. You know what I mean?
Oh, going to the corner and finds Pokey in the corner.
That pass was a my guy, no guy. Pokey was right there in the spot, gets it, and now they're going for 2. This is huge. Okay. Shinigami is fighting back. A nice little quick comeback to the pylon. Pokey gets it. Now they're only down by 20. Okay. They need another quick stop if they want to have any type of fight back into this game.
Oh, but they leave that right side open. Vanilla on a huge return, getting around Sean. Sean able to still make the tackle even though he was lying on the ground.
Vanilla using that slide to perfection. And unfortunately, he ran into the spike trap and got taken out.
And they are going to tackle him. So it looks like Jipper is switching to a more conservative play.
Yeah,
that's to chew up a lot of this clock.
And you know what? That's just the way of the game. You want to be able to win the game. You don't want to do anything crazy. Just take the plays that are given to you. Don't go for nothing crazy. And just manage this game so you could get the W. So they're going to need to really lock up in this trenches and push Jipper back.
Double covering Doopmean.
Regis
finds Vanilla. Can he get some moves out?
He does.
And he dives into the end zone.
Vanilla is looking very, very good when it's coming to this yak. He is unstoppable right now. He has, I believe, his 4th touchdown of the day, and they go for the 2, and he gets stopped just short of the 2-point conversion to make the score 50. So Shinigami's going to have to come back this drive and make it a real quick score because they are down.
They're down by 4 possessions. It'll be really difficult if to come back.
It is. And here's the thing, it's like K9 knows that they don't have to send no 4-man. This is going to be a pure zone defense because they know that these players have to go out wide. So now they're going to just sit pretty in the zone defense and watch MVP make a good throw, because if he doesn't, it's possibly going to be picked off by K9 and they're going to waste this clock out.
Yeah, looking at the time now, there is not enough time to get all the scores that you need to get the tie or even the win.
At this point, you're just fighting for score differential. You don't want it to look as bad, like if they keep scoring and you don't.
And good catch. Jipper actually was undercut the route, but it was thrown a little bit behind.
He was all over that, and it was a good play by the wide receiver to come up and attack the ball for his quarterback. You could definitely see that, you know, they are trying to get as many yards as they possibly can. Another good pass by MVP on the out route, and they're just chipping away. They're trying to get points on the board to make it look less than what it was.
Yeah, and man, looking at, even though that sack came through, looking at the line now, it's like the adjustments that Shinigami made, it's working now, but it's working way too late because MVP now is able to just stand in pocket, literally just stand in the pocket.
Yeah. It's very unfortunate that, like, the line, you know, isn't really taking that much pressure anymore when it's this late in the game. But at the same time, you know, that's just how it is sometimes. If you're not warm when you're coming into this game, you know, they're going to make you pay. They're going to make you pay for it.
And this most likely is just going to be a 50 up to either Mai or Sean.
Yep, they got guys behind. Dude's all the way in the back. And Vanilla coming up with another pick. Vanilla's going to make it almost impossible for anybody to catch up with him on this pick leaderboard. He's averaging, I want to say, 4 to 5 a game at this point. Nice little comeback from Bond. Cuts it all the way across back the field. Waiting for another slide. 17-yard gain by a little comeback route. So he's up to 210 yards on 10 receptions.
Dipper going in the 2v1 and body blocking his MVP.
So MVP, he's lurking on that side. He knows, like, okay, I can't let this guy get a deep route on my guy. I'm gonna just double team him. And now they're going to just go right back to the comeback route and say, sorry, but if you're going to do that, we're going to just chip away at you guys.
I wonder if he's trying to get Duke Mean 200 yards, because he's at 186 right now.
All right, well, they're lining up.
It's going to be another 50. Oh, he gets sacked by
Jadarius was not having any of that. He got the dive last second and was not trying to see a 50 blob. He said, no, we'll take this to the end of the game. I'm sorry, buddy. But let's look at this scoreboard. Great performance by both teams. Unfortunately, Shinigami taking the L tonight. K9 looking outstanding on both sides of the ball. A couple interceptions by Jipper. One, I think there might have been, I think there was miscommunication on the receiver's part because he kind of threw it right at the defense. The other one, there was a good play by Mai to get in front of Duke and pick the ball. But 21 and 28 for 463 yards, 7 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. 4
Yeah.
interceptions. Wow.
Yeah, like I was saying before, it was like Jipper was just invisible, and MVP would throw like right to the area Jipper was lurking.
So we got Jipper stat leader of the game for passing. We got him for more rushing yards. Ints, touchdowns. Okay, and then on for sacks, we got the game leader going to Regis. He had 4 sacks. Big. We got Scene with 10 tackles throughout the game. Not bad. Uh, this is and this is what I was talking about. How K9 turns the ball over, like, or how they get the turnovers like fast. So I look at it like this: they were turning the ball over with inside the 50. I believe it was 3 times. I believe maybe 4. And the blocking by them, they were barely on offense because they were scoring like wickedly fast. And then you have like the blocking on Shinigami side, 72, 68, 56. It they Shinigami just had the ball for like long, but then they didn't at the same time, if you get what I mean. Like their possession time, because K9 was scoring left and right, they had time, but it's just unfortunate that they weren't able to score these touchdowns because this game could have been a lot closer than what it was, because they were looking good in the second half. I don't know what happened in the first half.
Yeah, the first half they just let go. I mean, right after the first drive for Shinigami, like that didn't end up in a score. That ended up being a, I believe, a pick, right? If I'm right,
Yeah.
that was to Jipper.
Yeah, Jibber was able to come down on that in route and just take it right away from Steen on the in route. And I really don't know if if MVP ever seen Jipper on the field. It almost felt like you were saying, he was like invisible. They kept challenging him like he was just not there, and he made him pay for it every single time besides once. And
Mm-hmm.
it's because they were able to attack the ball right before he was. So Jipper almost ended the game with 5 interceptions. And then we have Bond. Big performance from Bond tonight. Huge. I, I wish there
Yeah,
was another stat
221.
line right here on the screen to see how many people he made miss, because
Yeah,
he was looking silky smooth out there. That man was making people miss left and right. And it goes to show 221 yards on 11 receptions, 4 touchdowns. Big. Dupney, 186 yards, 8 catches for 3 touchdowns. Huge. Um,
which I 2 of those touchdowns were post routes.
yeah, and then the huge catch by Chicken Fat on the lineman leak, diving and catching that ball just short of the end zone. Man, that would have been phenomenal. If Chicken Fat was able to get that touchdown, that would have been insane. It would have been a highlight. Unfortunately, he was just 2 yards short of that end zone. And then Cam, uh, 13 for 1 rush, or for 1 catch, and he had an interception, which is really good. Especially, it's hard to like get everybody involved, especially
Mm-hmm.
if like the defense on the other team is playing like double on the short end routes, because a lot of the times, like when it comes to the running back route, it's usually ins to outs or to like get separation for your wide receiver. So we have Cam going up on a post or even like a post corner, uh routes like in that source. So Cam definitely opening up his other wide receivers for them to get the ball and get the job done.
Yeah, I think there just needed to be like more pressure on Jipper this game because if you look at the stats uh just from the past games throughout this season, there's stuff that you can figure out and plan for if you just take a look at the stats, like how I had mentioned before, where Duke Mean and Vanilla, like the entire K9 offense was getting more yards per catch. Like of course Vanilla's getting yards off of that
Yeah.
from him breaking ankles, but
Mm-hmm.
if you see that yard per catch stat,
Yep.
you should be trying to force Jipper back because that means he's throwing it down the field in longer distances where he'll hit a couple comebacks along the way, but he's most likely just going to try to get over the top. If you force him back early and force Dupe Mean and Vanilla and all the receivers to come back, then you can just get the tackle as soon as they catch it, and they're not catching it for much. They'll be catching it for about 8 yards, 3
Yeah.
yards.
Yeah.
Of course it runs the risk of a play like where Chicken Fat had
Yeah.
of a ball over the top, but they wouldn't be able to do that every play.
So that I think that comes to it is very like it's hit or miss, right? So you got respect for the other team's wide receivers because you know if they catch fire, they could go off at any moment, right?
Yeah.
So now, if you put them on a one-on-one situation, okay, and that ball is thrown up, if they miss that and they get like mossed, you don't want to mess with their mental. So like you always want to have a guy at least in the vicinity of that pass. So two people are making a play on it instead of one. So then if two of you guys, if you guys miss it and that receiver catches it, it's like, okay, it was a good throw. You know, it was just a good throw. It is what it is. But at the same time, you are right. If they were able to send four and get pressure on Jipper, it might have made the throws more sloppy than like what was going on because Jipper was throwing the ball and he was putting it in a place where only his receiver could get it a majority of the time. So I think Shinigami needs to take this loss, like re-look over the situation. They know that it is possible they could see them farther down the road this season, and they could take this loss and just learn from it.
Yeah. With how the scheduling is set up, let me take a look at the schedule real quick. Because now that this game's over, you can take your lessons from the game, but you're not going to see K9 unless it's in the championship now, I believe.
That,
Because
and that's the
Shinigami is
at the end of the
over with
day.
polar opposites in common.
At the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters. If you take your team to the championship and you see this team in the championship, that's the only game that matters. Because at the end of the day, you want to be the one standing up on that podium
Mm-hmm.
accepting that trophy. So they take
Yeah,
this,
so
they learn from it, and even if they take this game and learn from it to play other teams, you know, that's all they got to do.
now the next 3 games for Shinigami, they still have to play Blizzard,
Mm-hmm.
which will be tomorrow at 9.
Yep. And
And
now,
then they go into Kingsman and Rogue Warriors.
yep, yep. Um,
So your team.
yeah. So they're gonna play us. I mean, I get the little perk of getting to watch this game and casting it. Uh, you know, it's beneficial to us, but
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, you know, this team is the team just off the board. I mean, it's a great team. You know what I mean? You can't knock them just because they lost to another great team. You know, no matter what, you got to go into the game, you know, knowing that like that team is great.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's going to be a good game. They have Blizzard. That's going to be a tough game for Blizzard. They lost their guy. They lost Lunar. That was their boy. Making Matt the new wide receiver number one on that team, and he's probably going to be matched up against Mai. So we'll go and see exactly how that matchup goes. The battle of the two M's. And then you got, I believe, Cold and if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if Spades is going to be eligible to play that matchup. So I am curious to see who the other wide receiver is. But
Uh,
let's not
Spades.
get too much into that because I think we might have to end the stream so they could get the VOD and all that stuff. So I just want
Yeah.
to give a huge thanks and a huge shout out to the chat, everybody who came by and was spectating the match. I also want to give another shout out to my co-caster, Silver Joker. If you guys, haven't seen his channel, hop over there, shoot him a follow. And Silver, if you got anything to say, go ahead.
Yeah, and we should be back. It's not set in stone yet, but we should be back here Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time for the K9 title matchup, which will most likely be game of the season because right now they are the top two teams in the league with one of the most high-powered offenses versus one of the most prolific defenses in the game.
Yes, that is true. Both of you guys are now the lone rangers of the undefeated teams. You guys are the only two left, right?
Yes, that is correct.
So we'll have to see how that one plays out. But on that note, take care, everybody, and have a good night.